this thing going, you guys. First of all, thank you so much for jumping on here tonight, especially the guests. All right, my name is Steve Schultz, and those of you who are guests, you're the reason that we're here tonight, and the reason that you were invited to this Zoom presentation tonight is to get some information. And please understand, all this is information. What you decide to do with this information is totally up to you. But I will tell you this. Tonight is not going to be a very formal presentation. It's going to be more of a conversation. But we've got some really, really exciting information that we definitely want to share with you. Like I said before, what you do with the information is totally up to you. But I will tell you this, we definitely want you to become a customer. We're going to tell you a little bit about our company, and we'll talk about the products that we have to offer. But there is an income side that goes with it. We're not going to touch on that very much here tonight. But if you want to get involved on the income side of what we do, please get together with the person who invited you to view this, and they will give you a lot more information on that part of it. Guys, my name is, like I said, my name is Steve Schultz, and I've been in this profession for 32 years. And every time that I say that, I kind of just freak out a little bit because that seems like a lifetime. But I'll give you my story and how we're even, on this Zoom together tonight. But it was about 120 days ago that I got a phone call from Jay Dollywall. And Jay is the owner and the founder of VoxxLife. And he called me up and he said, hey, a friend of yours told me that I should give you a call. And I said, what's going on? Well, how can I help you? And he said, I'd like you to help me build my company. And so I said, that's wonderful. What do you do? Who are you? And so he kind of knew my story a little bit. After 32 years of building in this profession, back in August of 1990, I was a fifth grade teacher. My wife was a first grade teacher. We got involved in this profession thinking it would supplement our teaching income. We were completely wrong, because after a year, my wife Colleen left her teaching position. A year and a half later, I left mine. So we've been doing it full time now for about 29 of the 32 years that we've been in. I personally built an organization of more than 200,000 people and have made tens of millions of dollars in the process. And Jay was reciting that story to me. Jay was telling me my story. And I'm like, wow, the person who told you to call must know me pretty well. And he said he does. He said, your friend Dan from Toronto told me to give you a call. And I said, well, Jay, what are you looking for? And he said, well, we're looking to, expand the company a little bit. I need somebody to help me with that. And I said, okay, well, what do you do? And Jay tried to explain to me what the products were all about. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys here tonight, and I'm talking to the guests, because those of you who are already involved in VoxxLife, you already know this, all right? But what I'm going to explain to you is unbelievable. I'm going to flat out tell you that you are not going to believe what I'm going to tell you, okay? Now, I'm going to preface it by saying that, okay? And what Jay did is he tried to explain the technology that he created. And he gave me this big, long explanation of how, he can put a patch on somebody's arm and help them with their balance. And he's got another patch that he can help them with sleep. And he's got another patch to help people deal with stress. And he's going through this whole thing. And I'm like you guys right now, because I'm listening to this on the phone going, whatever, really? There's no drugs involved. There's no supplements. You're going to put a patch on my arm and you're going to help me sleep better at night. And I literally said that to him. And I said, yeah. He goes, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I said, okay. And I wasn't that excited about it. Well, what he did is he invited me to come to Toronto. He invited me to come to Toronto and take a look at the home office and meet the corporate staff and really get to understand this technology. And so I flew to Toronto, and Jay did a little demonstration on me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to describe it to you on what he did, and I'm going to tell you my reaction. But he said, Steve, I want to test your balance. I want to test your balance, your stability, and your range of motion. And he made me stand in front of him. I put my feet together. I put my hands right here on my chest. And all he did was push down on my hands, and he knocked me off balance with very little effort. And then he did another test where he, lifted me up from the side like this, and he knocked me over with very little effort. And then what he did is he put a patch on my arm. just like he said he would on the phone, which I'm like, whatever, right? He put this patch on my arm and he redid the balance test and he couldn't move me. Without the patch, he knocked me off balance with no effort. He put the patch on my arm, redid the balance test, and he couldn't move me. And I looked at him and I said, how did you do that? How did you do that? Because I literally thought that he was playing a trick on me. I thought it was a magic trick. So he goes, take the patch off. So I took the patch off, redid the balance test, and he tipped me right over. I put the patch on and he couldn't move me. And I said, Jay, what is this? How does this possibly work? And he said, Steve, he said, there's no drugs, there's no stimulants. And he gave me this big scientific explanation of what this technology was. And I said, Jay, that's wonderful. But how am I supposed to explain that to my friends? How am I supposed to go back and explain this to Andrew and my friend Alex and Graham? And this is what he said to me. He goes, this is how you explain it. He goes, close your eyes and hold out your hand. So I did. And he put a pen in my hand. And he said, what's in your hand? And I said, it's a pen. He goes, how do you know? He goes, how do you know? Your eyes are closed. I said, because I know what a pen feels like. He said, exactly. He said, your skin is sending a message to your brain that says, this is a pen. He said, Steve, I could have put anything in your hand and your skin would send a message to your brain to tell you what it is without looking at it. He said, I've just figured out a way to create a pattern that when it touches your skin, it sends a message to your brain to fix things. And the patch that you happen to have on your arm right now fixes balance, stability, and range of motion. And I looked at him and I said, that's unbelievable. On the phone, I did not believe it. When somebody did the demonstration on me, from that day forward, that was 4 months ago, I can't stop talking about it. And I can't stop not giving the demonstration to other people because they think it's a magic trick. I'm like, come here. Let me show you something. And I tip them off, get them off balance, and I put the patch on them and they can't move. They're like, how did you do that? I'm like, well, the skin is sending a message to your brain. And they're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? But those of you that are in the business, you guys know how much fun that is. And Jay said, listen, I've got another patch that when we put it on your skin, it sends a message to your brain to help people sleep and to deal with stress and to enhance their mood and help people with ADHD and ADD. And I said, no drugs, no stimulants, no supplements. He goes, no, none of that stuff. And I was hooked. Guys, I've been in this business, like I said, for 32 years. I've made over 20 million US dollars in that 32-year period. I have never, ever been more excited about promoting a product than I am the super patches. And we've got them in socks. We've got the technology in a pair of socks. It's like you put on a pair of socks, same thing happens. I've never been more excited to share the technology with people than than anything that I've done in the past 32 years. Now, those of you that are watching this right now, that are guests, because I know those of you that are already in, you're like, yeah, Steve, we know, you're preaching to the choir here. We know, we get it, right? But those of you who are guests, I want to share something with you, okay? I'm going to show you a 51-second video, all right? Now, let me just share my screen with you here. Yeah, it's right there, I think. Okay, everybody hang on for 1 second. Now, this young lady right here, okay, she was at a meeting that I did in Birmingham, Alabama, a couple of weeks ago. Her name is Brandy, and when she came into the room, she had never heard of VoxxLife. Somebody invited her and said, hey, can you come and take a look at something I'm excited about? So she walked in the room. I introduced myself to her. I said, have you ever heard of VoxxLife? She goes, no, I don't know what you guys do. And she walked out a completely different person. So do me a favor, make sure your volume is up so you can hear her reaction just a little bit, but watch what happens when I gave her the technology. Here we go.
How many years have you had an issue going up and down the stairs?
Since I was 33, I'm 46, so you can do the math, I can't.
13 years.
Thank you.
Go ahead, John. Please be careful. Okay, I'm gonna put the Liberty patch on her right now. And she's gonna do all of that again.
And by the way, just walking up and down this many times, usually I'm in a lot of pain too, and that's not as bad.
This is her third time doing it. There you go.
It's amazing. Utterly amazing.
She says amazing, utterly amazing. See, we put the technology on her and we did the balance test with her and we couldn't move her, okay? She was very wobbly before the technology was on her arm, and we put the patch on, we couldn't move her. And she said to us, she goes, do you guys mind if I try to go up and down the stairs? Because that's where I have the most trouble. And we're like, yeah. So we took the patch off. She goes, let me show you how I normally go up and down the stairs. Going up wasn't too bad, but did you see the way she came down the stairs? I mean, she even warned us. She goes, I'm not going to fall. We're like, I was standing at the bottom of the steps ready to catch her, right? And so we watched her come down the stairs, and then I'm like, that's crazy. So then we put the patch on, she walked up and came back down, and I'm like, can you go do that one more time so we can record you? That's why she did it 3 times. And that's why she said, amazing, utterly amazing. You guys, that is what's happening with this company right now and this technology. You know, people want a solution for what our products can give. You know, people don't realize their instabilities. Okay, my father, my dad he's 88 years old, and my dad is a really cool guy. I mean, he's sharp, his mind is perfect, but his body is starting to give away a little bit, right? And I did the demonstration on him. I said, okay, Dad, I want you to stand with your feet together, your hands like that. When he put his hands here, he couldn't even stand. Like, he was like tipping before I even touched him. All right. I'm like, Dad, all I'm going to do is push down on your arms and see what he goes. He goes, Steve, I can't stand this way. So I said, okay. I just pushed down his hand a little bit and he tipped right over. Okay. I put the Liberty patch on his arm. I said, okay, now I want you to try to do that again. He puts his feet together, puts his hands right here. And before I even touched him, he didn't move. And he looked at me and he said, what's going on? I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push down on your hands and just try to resist me. He's 88 years old. And why didn't I record this, right? It was because it was just me and him. And I pushed down on his hands and I couldn't move him. And he looked at me and he said exactly what I said to Jay. I said, he goes, how did you do that? I said, I didn't do anything. And I explained the patch and how it actually worked. Let's do this before I share some other things with you. Guys, let's open this up. Stuart, anybody, do you guys have any, testimonials from the product from yourself or maybe a customer that's tried the product that you want to share with us? Anybody? Can they unmute themselves, Stuart, or not?
Well, I've been using, hi.
Hi there.
I've been using the technology for over 2 years now. Myself, I use the sleeve and the socks and everything, and I find them brilliant. I've no more plantar fasciitis. So that's a plus. My feet aren't sore at the moment.
Okay, explain that a little bit, because my wife is a runner and she has suffered from that for years until we got involved with VoxxLife.
Yeah.
So explain how that pain has literally gone away.
Well, to begin with, it just in the mornings, that was a self-diagnosis, by the way. I didn't know.
Well, nobody knows your body better than you, so that's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So every morning my feet would have been quite stiff and sore. As soon as I put them on the ground, the heel was really, really tender, and for quite a while in the morning until they would get moving, and then it would ease a little bit, but always was there. And within 2 weeks, I'm sure it's gone fuzzy because it's 2 years ago, but within a couple of weeks that was no more. just don't have that anymore. But the testimonial that I was going to say was, just the other day, I had a pack of the Focus patches delivered, and I don't usually procrastinate too much, but when it comes to finances and all that, keeping your books and all those things, I really do procrastinate quite badly. So stuff that I needed to do for weeks, perhaps even months, hadn't been getting done until I put that Focus patch on, and I was wham, bam, doom, 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 everything done in a matter of a couple of hours. And I was like, felt so much better for having got on top of it, rather than always just thinking, I really need to do that, I really need to do that. It was just done. It was easy. I was focused. My children were running around. There was distractions, but I was not distracted. So I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, and once you feel it, okay? Yeah. And guys, this is just me talking, so you guys jump in here. But once you feel the difference, you can never unring that bell. Mm-hmm. It's like, I am never going back to the way that I was before. I'm a prolific racquetball player. I mean, I play to the point where I need an intervention. And when I found out how off balance I was, and when I put the patch on and I was so balanced, I felt so much stronger. I said, I am never taking that off. And you're like, okay, I am never taking this Focus patch off again. I want to stay focused in my life. And if I could roll up my sleeves right now, I got patch, and the socks. Wearing them all right now. Thank you for that. Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, sure. So when I discovered this product, or somebody rang me, rather like the phone call that you got, Steve, in the first place, this chap said to me, I was a golf mind coach at the time, so doing hypnosis and NLP and this sort of thing with golfers. So he said, you're a golf coach. I've got this new thing that's helping golfers hit the ball further, straighter, with less dispersion. They're feeling stronger, more powerful, whatever. Yeah, what is it? It's socks. No. No, I'm not having it's socks, but he gave me this offer, and he said, look, try them for a period of time. It's a free offer. It's not a free offer, but it's a paid for offer. 100% money back guarantee. Will it make you stop talking to me? Yes, I'll give it a go. So I tried it for 2 weeks. I got nothing, no results whatsoever. And he said, are you sleeping in bed with them on at night? No, John, that would be stupid. I don't do that. Never done that in my life. Not going to start doing it now. He convinced me to give it a go. So after a week, I went to circuit training, where I was working harder than the people half my age. My legs stopped aching in the morning. And I went to a big presentation in London, and they said that some of the effects that people are benefiting from are things like an improved memory, improved quality of hearing, and lots of other things as well. And I suddenly at that stage realised that I'd been starting to forget people's names. I'd been starting to forget factual information. But now I was wearing the socks, especially at night, I found my memory much sharper. So that's just one of the benefits. And my hearing also was much better as well, even though my wife still thinks I've got selective hearing. But that's a personal thing.
Of course.
But one of the best things that I've experienced with this technology is this patch I'm wearing here, which is called the Defend patch, which has helped me to overcome my immune response to dog hair, cat hair, house dust, tree pollen, grass pollen, every possible thing that was affecting me. Now I don't sneeze in the middle of summer when I'm around cats or dogs. I'm not sneezing either. So for me, it's there's not life-changing things, but life-enhancing certainly. And if this Defend patch ever goes off sale, I'm going to go and start making some myself from somewhere. I don't know how I'm going to live without it.
Stuart, that's funny you say that, because that is one patch that I will never take off my arm, for the same reason. Improves your blood flow and your circulation, and it does all of that just for overall health. And I've heard way too many testimonials from people that I just said, I am never taking this one off. Like, they last for 24 hours. So it starts to peel off. I'm like, I peel it off and stick another one on, like, immediately. I'm like, get it on there, make it work. Guys, we literally could go on for hours. We have 6 million customers that have tried this technology around the world. And the coolest thing is that I keep coming back to this, is that it's completely drug-free. We have a lot of professional athletes, a lot of Olympic athletes that are using our technology, and nobody's afraid to use it, because nobody is going to fail a drug test. There's no CBD. There's nothing in it. Nobody has to like the taste of our product. Nobody's mixing anything up. Nobody's swallowing anything. For Pete's sake, you guys, it's a patch or you put on a pair of socks because the technology is built in to the socks. And you sit back and go, how in the world? And trust me, that's why I said at the very beginning here, it's like, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And I was talking to Jay about this when I was in Toronto, and I'm like, Jay, give me some more. I'm like, give me the long-term benefits of this. And he said, Steve, if you're driving your car down the road with underinflated tires, it's going to put undue pressure on your car, and your car's going to wear out sooner than later. If your car is out of alignment and it's pulling to the left, pulling to the right, it's going to put undue pressure on the car or the truck. He said the exact same thing happens with our bodies. He said when our bodies are out of alignment, that's when the neck pain starts, and the hip pain, and the knee pain, and the ankle pain, and the back pain. He said, I've just figured out a way to get your body in perfect alignment. And he said to me, he goes, people have even said that they have more energy when they use this technology. And he started laughing. He goes, my products don't do anything for energy. I don't have an energy patch. He said, but when your body is in complete homeostasis and it's lined up perfectly, it runs more efficiently, and you have the effect that you have more energy. And I'm like, I can explain that. I can explain it to people in those terms. I can explain it in those terms. Let me share my screen with you guys one more time. I'm just going to show you the different patches that we have. I'm just going to walk through these things super, super fast. We only have 8 of them. Okay, we have 8 of these patches. One is called the Freedom Patch. Deal with pain like never before. Okay, now as I run through these, just please remember, completely drug-free. Completely drug-free. The REM patch, all right? Sleep like never before. This is, whoops, I'm gonna go backwards here. Oh my gosh, hold on, everybody. Oh my gosh, this right here is our #1 selling patch because most people are in pain, right? Number 2 is the REM patch because people have a hard time sleeping at night, right? We have what is called the Peace patch. Deal with stress like never before. When this patch first came out, Stuart, I started sticking them all over my body. All right, deal with stress like never. Yeah, right there, buddy. I got one right here, right? Then we have the Defend patch. And this is what Stuart was just talking about. Protect your health like never before. The Liberty patch, move like never before. And this is the one that we do all of our demos with. And then we also have the Flow patch, which is pay attention like never before. Okay, all the brain fog goes away. Right? Have you guys ever walked into a room and said to yourself, what did I just come in here for? Put this Flow patch on, all right? The Victory patch, athletic performance like never before. And this is what the athletes are using, okay? High energy people that are athletic are using the Victory patch. And then the Focus patch, study like never before. These 2 patches here, the Victory patch and the Focus patch, we could take this to every school in the UK and every school in Canada and every school in the United States and help our kids study better and help them perform better on the athletic field. These 2 patches right here, it's gonna take this company into take it to a whole new level. So there are our super patches. We do have socks. I'm not even gonna show you the socks because socks are socks. But the technology that is built into the socks is the same as our Liberty patch right here. Now, to wrap this up, I just want to go back to how I actually started when I said that what we're talking about is really unbelievable. Because it's almost silly. You know, when Jay was telling me about this, I'm like, dude, come on, really? You're going to tell me that this is how it works? And it's almost silly when you try to explain it to somebody who's never heard it before. And how I kind of combat that is I say, this technology might be unbelievable, but so is sight, and so is hearing. Like if you guys are watching me right now and you say, okay, Steve is raising his right arm, he's putting his right hand down, he's putting his left arm over here, he's looking to the right, he's looking to the left. For you to be able to process that in real time, you can see me and you can hear me, and you're processing that in real time. If you were to explain how that worked, I wouldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. But just because we don't understand how it works doesn't mean that it's not real. Every single one of us, we get in a vehicle, we start it, and we drive down the road, probably knowing that we don't understand how the motor works. Most people don't know. People don't know how this works. And we use it every single day. This technology right here, for me to be in Dallas, Texas, to talk to you guys over in the UK, 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me is unbelievable. And if you were to explain how we can hear each other in real time, I'd sit there and go, I don't believe that. But it works because we can hear each other, we can see each other. You don't have to understand how the technology works, but you need to understand that it's real, that it's real. And I know that every single person watching this right now, you know people who want to feel better. You know people that have a hard time sleeping at night. You know people who don't deal with stress very well. You know people who aren't very focused and they let their finances get out of whack. Oh, sorry about that. And you know people whose kids are struggling in school. And you can slap a patch on them and just watch them change. It's not 30 days. It's not even, in some cases, it's not even 30 minutes. The balance and the stability patch takes 3 seconds. It's instant. If you put this pen in your hand right now, I know it's a pen. In less than a second, I know it's a pen. I know this is a phone. I know this is a brochure. I know this is a Diet Coke without even looking at it. That's how this technology works. And somebody said to me the other day, they said, well, you know, is Jay protecting this technology? Does he have a patent on this? And I'm like, no, this isn't patented. Because when you patent things, you have to give away all your secrets. Coca-Cola is not patented. It's not patented. Because if it was, everybody would know the secret formula. How Jay has protected this technology is when you look at the patch, it's his fingerprint. And embedded in his fingerprint is the tactile pattern that sends the message to whatever part of your brain. And you can wear all 8 patches at the same time if you want to. Okay? Because they all go to a different part of your brain and they don't short circuit one another. I know you're looking at me going, this is ridiculous, Steve. I'm like, I know, it sounds ridiculous. But when you feel the technology and you talk to other people who have felt the technology, they know the difference before and now after. That's when it becomes real. And if you want to go out there and share this technology with other people, the company's going to pay you. They're going to pay you a ridiculous amount of money for something that you would do for free. Because you guys, I literally can't wait to go do a demo on somebody. I did a demonstration on somebody on the airplane today. We're at 35,000 feet. And he's like, what do you do? I'm like, what do you do? I'm like, well, this is what I do. So I said, here, stand up. We were in the aisle of the airplane. And people are looking around going, what are these guys doing? All right? And I gave him the balance test. He's like, that is, he's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I know, it's crazy, right? So you want to go share this with other people, and you want to go out there and help as many people as you possibly can. So those of you that are guests, do me a favor. Get together with the person who invited you to view this, whether you're live or whether you're watching it on a replay right now. Get together with the person who invited you, get all of your questions answered. And if you're joining us, all right, either as a customer or if you want to be on the income side of it, it doesn't matter. If you're joining us here today, let me be the first to welcome you to VoxxLife. All right. Stuart, anything else, buddy? Oh, you're on mute, man.
No, thank you very much. At least some technology works really well. Information technology is different altogether.
Well, thanks for jumping on, you guys. We've got a big job to do over in the UK. You know, we've got a huge job over here in the United States. I'm obviously in the States. And when you think about, you know, what's going on in Canada, they haven't even started in Canada either. You know, 6 million people have tried this technology worldwide. That's it.
To finish on a very positive note, so thank you very much for joining us tonight and for leading the way forward. I can't believe it's 4 months since you joined. So you made a huge impact on people already, and we definitely want to book you again to come back to the UK through the various mediums of international time travel and you know, this amazing technology that, again, you know, I couldn't explain how a Zoom call works, all the ones and noughts that travel across. So, but it does, right? So yeah, give it a try.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to be in Paris, France, the week of October 9th through the 16th. Maybe I should just take the train over and hang out with you guys for a while. Do a couple of live ones with you.
Perfect.